Hey everyone, this is Neil with the Dastardly Gentleman. I've got Frank with me tonight. Say hi, Frank.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to talk about This Week in Gaming. What's happened this week in gaming, Frank?
Well, Neil. Uh, I know that like on this cast we talked a lot, especially recently about corporatism and things of that nature. Recently, Konami has unveiled Metal Gear Survival. Have you seen that?
No.
So the thing about Metal Gear Survival, first of all, it's Konami's first attempt at Metal Gear since Kojima left. Hideo Kojima left the studio. Well, he was fired, and he's since gone on to newer and better things. He, of course, is the creator and director and the writer for Metal Gear Solid since 1980s. He so they took basically this whole thing is amazing. They unveiled a cinematic trailer for Metal Gear Solid a few weeks ago, or I'm sorry, Metal Gear Solid Survival a few weeks ago. They're using the Metal Gear Solid name, but therein the similarities really end. The game is a zombie survival game, and I do not understand. In a recent interview, somebody asked Hideo Kojima if he was involved at all with the Metal Gear Solid Survival, and he said that his game series was about political espionage and tactical espionage, and in no way he doesn't understand how zombies can fit into that. And this is the guy that made a woman who breathes through her skin, makes nanomachines like their magical bits, and has a guy that can shoot a revolver and have it ricochet and go anywhere he wants to. If he's telling you that something doesn't make sense in a context, you probably should take notes. Because this is one imaginative motherfucker. And if he can't think of how it would work, you probably can't think of how it would work.
Well, it's basically genre breaking.
It's fucking straight up garbage. I mean, they're basically zombie unicorns, and I say that because they've all got red crystals that come out of their heads, and you sneak up and you stab them. And if you've ever played Metal Gear, the whole point of Metal Gear is to sneak by and then to never be seen.
Yeah.
Like if you killed someone, it's because you're bad.
Yeah.
And so the idea that you're playing this game with the explicit intention of sneaking up on these guys and killing them, or holding a position or whatever, it's like that's not the point. That's never was what it was about. And the most egregious thing about it isn't just that they've taken a venerated series like Metal Gear, and they've made it into this zombie garbage. Uh, it's how they've done it, and it's so I guess ballsy is an excellent way to talk about is an excellent way to describe it. Recently, Jim Sterling released a new Jimquisition episode where he talks about it in greater detail than I probably will. But they've taken the assets from Metal Gear Solid 5 and they've just put them into this game. They've literally just taken it's the same map, the same locations, the same engine, the same character models, but just slightly altered to look like zombies. All the same characters that you can play in Metal Gear Solid online are all being used to play the protagonists. It is a straight up asset flip, and I am blown by the egregious ballsiness of Konami to even attempt this.
Sounds like just it sounds like they're doing it out of spite to Hideo. I mean, which is
Yeah,
stupid. I mean, as a company, you don't want to actually spend time, money, and effort just out of spite. I mean, come on, weren't they supposed to be moving on to pachinko games, or just investing solely in pachinko games and stop making games
you
in
know,
general?
at first I was really kind of hoping that they were kidding, but now I'm really hoping that they weren't, because like if this is the kind of quality of things that they're going to put out, just make your pachinko machines. I know that they've become a joke with their Silent Hill pachinko machines, and they made me weep like a big old bitch whenever like they put out this fantastic redone trailer for Metal Gear Solid 3, and they're like Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and then it was just this beautifully CGI updated with Metal Gear 5 level graphics, and I'm like and then it was like pachinko, and I was like
Right.
I was mad. I can't tell if this is an insult to the players, because like the players were heated that Kojima got canned, and now they've got this coming out, and it's like, can anyone at Konami really look at this and be like, this is a good business decision, and it's going to be a quality entertainment to our fan base? No, it's not.
No, they're
fucking no, it's not.
They're looking to make the most money possible in the shortest amount of time. Now, for people that don't know, Frank, can you explain what a pachinko machine is?
Okay, in Japan, you can't gamble in Japan. But what you can do is that they've got gambling like halls where you can have it's similar to a slot. Actually, it's basically identical to a slot machine, but a pachinko is a little tiny ball, a little tiny metal ball. Think like marbles. And this machine's loaded up with them, and then you play the game just like you would a slot machine, and then it pays you out rather than in coins. It pays you in the little pachinko balls, and they actually can make money in this. And the way that they do it is say you play a game and then you win 500 pachinko. So you put your little can there, just like grandma does whenever she gets her social security check, goes down to the boat and fucks it all up. And so you load it up, and then you go over to this vending machine and you dump all your pachinko in there, and then there's a bunch, say like you got like there's like lipstick and whatever, and they all have like set values for like 200 pachinko balls or whatever. So then you go there, you dump it in, and then you select, so say like lipstick for 200 pachinko. Now you have two options. You have one, you can walk away. Like you can keep your lipstick and go give it to a gorilla or whatever. You can eat it if you want, or you can take it to the other side of the hall where there's a guy that has a whole shitload of money and a bunch of metal bars, and you give him the lipstick, and then he pays you a dollar value for that lipstick, or a yen value for that lipstick. And so you have guys that'll sit there all day, and they'll just like they'll buy like I mean I don't really know what they would put in it, but like 40 or 50 pairs of used underwear.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go over and they just dump them on this guy's desk, and he pays them, I don't know what the going price is for used panties, but like let's just say $20. I'm really lowballing it, but let's go with that.
Sure.
And so thereby you've made money, because you pay money in order to play, just like you would a slot machine, but then you can do all that to make money.
So there's like two middlemen.
Right.
Okay.
It's the most roundabout way to try to cash out your chips ever.
So if law ever changes there, Konami's fucked.
I mean, I hope it does change just so Konami can be fucked.
Well, I mean, they could probably easily change their games, because there's a lot of Konami games at the casino over here at the Hard Rock. They would probably just change the currency. I mean,
yeah, change the currency, ship them overseas, because I mean, like Japan's pretty hard on gambling.
Yeah.
But most Asian countries, to my understanding, are pretty hard on gambling.
Yeah.
Official gambling, anyway.
That's really stupid. I mean, Konami used to be a great company. I mean, they put out games like Dance Dance Revolution, put out Metal Gear, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. Those are pretty sweet.
Isn't Konami also responsible for Castlevania?
Yes.
So,
also for Contra and
right.
Silent Hill.
Yeah, Silent Hill is also another one that's one of my favorite game titles that they've taken to the pachinko farm, and they've put a couple in. It's Silent Hill is terrible, but like we've also got the two releases, Lords of Shadow and Lords of Shadow 2 from I think it was from Konami, that were just garbage. And I mean, okay, so they're fun-ish, but overall not real super. Yeah, it's Konami does Castlevania, but a lot of people don't want the 3D. They want their old style Castlevania, the 2D scrollers. But Konami's like no, people don't want that. People don't want that, and that's a big company thing that I think is fantastically silly, where they're so fabulously in love with their own ego that they decide what their clients don't like, even though like they're repeatedly proven over and over and over again through multi-platforms that people still buy the shit out of stuff like that. So then I mean, I can't remember the game's called, but like the guy who made the original Castlevania is now on Kickstarter starting a game that is Castlevania. So I mean, it's Castlevania in everything except name,
Right.
and it's just been just fucking blown out of the water. And from what I understand, it's fantastic. I haven't played it, but from what I know, from what I've heard, from what I've been told, it is everything that a Castlevania fan wants. And it was unbelievable how fast that the fans paid for it. And they've had proof up to this point that people wanted this,
Right.
with a multitude of different things. But Konami, they just them, fuck you.
Yeah.
This whole thing with Metal Gear kills me though, because like them taking an IP like this and just asset flipping it. Smaller studios will take store-bought assets and then just like and then try to sell a game on Steam, and they get just blown apart for doing it. But then you got a big company like Konami that actually can afford to make shit, like can really afford to make a good quality title, and they do it. I don't even know how to deal. I don't know how to process that. Help me, Neil.
It's and the worst part about it is that people will buy that shit and they will make millions.
I hope not. I fucking really hope not.
And it's the same thing that happened with No Man's Sky. I mean, they use a name, they use a promise, and people fucking buy. They buy it all up front. They spend, the company gets millions of dollars in profits, and then they just don't. I mean, if you look at No Man's Sky, so many people pre-ordered that game. So many people bought that game. And with the promise that it was going to be great, with the kind of vague promises that there might be multiplayer. And then as soon as the fucking opening day happens, people find out and are pissed. It took them probably about a week, tops, to find out this is not what was promised to me. And then the creator of the game just fucking got out. Like, he hasn't made a tweet since. He has not said a goddamn thing to anybody since that game came out. And it's like the biggest middle finger possible. It's like, thanks for all the money, guys. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, like he just kind of like he was like, oh, this game's gonna be the best. It's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. Like the game comes out. Nope. I'll see you guys. Now that you paid for my yacht.
Yeah, I paid for my yacht, my private island. I never have to talk to any of you motherfuckers again.
Yeah, that kind of mentality, it seems to permeate a lot of different kinds of game coverage right now. I think as far as No Man's Sky goes, an absolute lack of transparency is just blatant, because they never released anything, any kind of like updates, dev diaries, betas. I mean, once the game was out, now you get to see what it looks like. A lot of people are, brief soapbox moment, a lot of people are comparing No Man's Sky to Star Citizen. And I wholly disagree, because Star Citizen has been so incredibly transparent with what they're doing. I mean, like you can buy into the game for like $20-$30, and then you play everything that they have available, you can play.
Yeah.
They've got like this big arena mode that you can play that. They've got the online stuff where you can group up with your friends and you can fly around the stars and you can see all that kind of other shit. As it becomes available, you are getting to see what they have done. And I'm like, that is a lot of transparency.
Absolutely.
Like the game is expanding as you play it. I as opposed to No Man's Sky, where it was like, well, can we see some actual gameplay? Well, I mean, we have this canned footage. Well, I mean, that's not really gameplay. Don't you have like an alpha or like a anything like that? It's currently being worked on. Yeah, I bet. So people look at it and be like, this game looks fucking awful. Looks like it's got a piss filter everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it looked terrible, but people were saying it was basically the second coming of Christ. I'm like, no, it's not. It looks bad, but, pre-orders.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reoccurring theme of the podcast. Stop eyes.
And before I move on to my next game, I would like to take this opportunity to say, for the first time in my life, I'm going to not buy a Metal Gear game. That's deep, dude. I have every Metal Gear game. There isn't a single one. I even have Snake's Revenge. It's not even technically a Metal Gear game.
Technically, yeah. Isn't that on NES?
Yep. I think I have 3 copies of the first one. I know that I've got 4 copies of Metal Gear Solid. One of them's an import black label for the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. I actually went out and rebought Metal Gear Solid whenever it went from the black label to the green label.
Oh, the greatest hits.
Yep, I bought it again. I bought like every time that like they released Sons of Liberty, and then they released like the game immediately after that, Sons of Liberty, but with a little bit more like an expansion. I bought that one. Every time they did that, I bought the other one.
Wow.
I bought all of them. I've got like, goddamn, I got like 25 copies. I got a ton of Metal Gear shit. Every special edition of Metal Gear that's ever been made. I've got 5 copies of Guns of the Patriots.
God.
I don't even care. Judge me.
Yeah, that's whatever.
It's my favorite game series of all time. I mean, I'm getting a lot in my old age. I'm getting a lot more selective about the special editions I buy.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I am ish.
I mean, yeah.
Ish.
For Frank's standards, not normal person standards.
That's true. So now I want to move on, since we're talking about pre-ordering and pre-order culture. I want to talk about early access.
Okay.
Have you heard anything about what's going on with Ark Evolved?
I don't know anything about that game.
So Ark Evolved is probably of the early access games that are on Steam. There's a subgenre of survival games. You got like Rust, DayZ. You probably played those,
Yeah.
or at least know of them.
Yes.
Ark it looks good. It runs good. It's all but complete. It's been on early access for fucking ever, and it keeps getting sold, and that's fine. But it's one of those games. The game is still in early access.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it's ever going to not be in early access, and it comes to a point where is it going to come out? That's not the point. So this game is basically done, and it was a smaller studio. Now they've got publishers and they've got help. You can buy into the game on Steam. You can play it. It's got dinosaurs, and you survive. So like basically think
Turok.
Yeah, kinda, because like you can raise the dinosaurs, you can have them help you do all these things, you can have them fight for you, shit like that.
Okay.
And it looks really good. It's really pretty. So, but this company recently got the smaller company recently got a publisher, and they had some stuff that they were going to add into the game, and so here comes big publisher and wants to sell it as an expansion. The game's not even done yet.
Okay.
They want to sell paid DLC. Like I think it's like $25 for a game that's not fucking done. Finish the first one. I mean, like,
yeah.
God damn. I don't understand. I truly do not understand. I mean, and like as DLC, it's fine because like it's got like a whole new biome, it's got like a whole bunch of shit that it adds, a whole bunch of new recipes, weapons, different kinds of dinosaurs that go with the new biome, and like it feeds into the other one. And so like it expands the island and the territory for you to do more things and know more things and then experience more. That's an expansion. It's an expansion pack in the truest sense of an expansion pack, which is fine. And they can even sell it later on if they wanted to, but holy shit, finish the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're not even like the cart's not even before the horse. You just unlimbered the horse, tied the poor little pony to a tree, and you got in that cart, you pushed that shit down the hill, and you're like, bye, horse. Fucking, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's the culture now of games. DLC everywhere, like, and people they're gonna keep doing it because people fucking buy that shit. Like Street Fighter 5, for example. Oh god, it drives me nuts. Okay, Street Fighter 4 it got kind of bad. Okay, so you had the original Street Fighter 4. Then you had Super Street Fighter 4. Then you had Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Then you had Ultra Street Fighter 4. And that was all over the span of like 4 or 5 years. Okay? And each time they made a new game, they added a bunch of new content. Like, from Street Fighter 4 to Super Street Fighter 4, there was like fucking 20 new characters. And they charged typically, I think it was like $30 for the game. Especially if you already had original Street Fighter 4. Okay, I get that. Cool. It's like a whole new game. With like so many new characters. But then here comes Street Fighter 5. The game didn't have a story mode. The game barely had a versus mode, offline versus mode. It was just like online was shitty. It was laggy, and the servers were very unstable. It was a $60 game.
Yeah, it was an incomplete experience.
Yeah, incomplete experience.
It was like when Street Fighter was like initial release, it was so bottom of the barrel compared to. I mean, here's the thing: it came out as a contemporary for the new Mortal Kombat, and the new Mortal Kombat is killing it. I mean, like they are. It was the story mode was good. The graphically was superior to Street Fighter. I mean, the fighting was good. Just like Street Fighter didn't have a leg to stand on at all. And it was just, I mean, and then to have the audacity in this same time frame to come out and have a game that doesn't have the story mode, doesn't have like even a remotely competent online versus, or an even close to being competent local. It was just unbelievable to me.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, and here's the best part about that, or worst part, depending on your perspective.
Right.
For Street Fighter 5, there's approximately 16 characters to choose from, and I'm being generous here. I think it's more like 12. They're coming out with new characters every couple of months, which is cool. But they're $6 a piece.
That's a lot.
But if you buy the season pass for $30, you get them all for free as they come out. Free.
There's probably how many characters are they going to make? How many characters have they made?
So far they've made Balrog, Ibuki, Guile, Alex, and Urian just came out.
Shut up.
Yes.
Guile was a fucking DLC.
Yes.
Okay, here's another thing. Capcom is notorious for the data already being there.
Yes.
How much do you want to bet that they were already on there?
There's a very good possibility of that.
See, I wouldn't even buy it. I mean, like I couldn't even buy the game. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
There's only one reason why I bought the game is because
You're super good at Street Fighter. I fucking would buy it too.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at Street Fighter, and I wanted to get into the competitive scene. But once I saw that shit, I couldn't play anymore. It just pissed me off.
It's hard. It's hard to reconcile with something like that.
Yeah, I mean, not only like the online, they fixed the online eventually. It took them 5 to 6 months to do that, which is terrible. I mean, especially for a fucking $60 game. The playing of the game. I mean, since I took so long to actually buy the game because I was waiting for them to fucking fix it. I was way behind in terms of learning the game's mechanics and whatnot, so, I was getting my ass rocked in fucking online mode, and, it just super discouraging, and then when these new characters came out, $6 a pop, it's like, okay, what? But wait, you could, if you play the game enough and earn fight money, you could buy the characters for free. But here's the thing, okay, League of Legends does this as well. And with League of Legends, you earn IP as you play games. If you play for about 3 or 4 hours, 4 or 5 games, you can probably unlock a mid-range character. Okay? For you to unlock a single DLC character in Street Fighter, you have to play 300 plus games.
God damn.
Easy. And we're talking win, not lose. You only get fight money if you win.
Wow.
So they made it virtually impossible for you to buy the character.
Shifty
without money.
motherfuckers, dude.
So that's the culture now. I mean, you fucking give me money or you don't get this piece of the game. It's bullshit.
That's rough. That's a bad turn of it. I mean,
Yeah.
Capcom's up there. Capcom's up there with Konami. You know,
Oh yeah. They've
as
gotten
far as
really bad.
they're facing the heresy banner.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up video game heresy. I'm telling you.
And that sucks because okay, you got half the idiots that still fucking buy into this shit,
Mhm.
and the other half, like you and me, who are just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. But we miss out on all the shit that the other half are getting into. So because the other half is still supporting the fucking game, they keep making shit like that. So either A, we just stop playing video games altogether
Right.
because it's never gonna be us anymore, or B, we just fucking suck it up. And I don't want to fucking suck it up. That's not okay to reward bad business.
No, it's not. And here's the thing that like is terrifying. You have companies like Konami, you have companies like Capcom that do these horrible things. Square Enix, we'll get to you in a minute. That do these horrible business practices that are shady as hell and they're not okay. But then like they just do like it sucks now and then they do it again and then they do it again and like some people say like man, I really wish that you quit harping on like all this DLC or all stuff about DLC. I really wish that you quit harping on all this stuff about like the information already being on the disc. But they keep doing it.
Yep.
You have to talk about it every time. If you don't talk about it every time, like it just goes away, and like people stop talking about it, stop thinking about it, and the company just does it now.
It becomes the norm.
People accept it. And it's not acceptable. It's like it's whenever I used to go to school, if like like somebody had their pants down, like the teachers would yell the hell out of you and then send you away. You'd have to go get a belt or whatever. But like over the like when I was a freshman, it was not okay. Sophomore, it's really aggravating. Freshman, sophomore, junior. I don't think I'm ever saying it's been a while.
Yeah.
Junior, it was just kind of you really shouldn't do that. And then by senior, no one cared.
Yep.
And it's like it's not okay. It wasn't okay the first day. If you weren't okay with it the first day, you shouldn't be okay with it now.
Right.
Like the march of time hasn't made this act any less offensive than the future. I'm not saying that sagging pants are offensive. I'm just saying that they're stupid. Just to clarify.
Yes.
But in this context, it serves the same purpose as being the allegory. But like so, with like the $6 bullshit and making it basically mandatory that you pay for it, unless like you're a like in the anime No Game No Life where like you can literally all they do all day is play competitive games from sun up to sundown and even then some like 48 hours at a time.
Oh God.
And that's all you do, then yeah, okay, maybe you might be able to do that. For like the average human being, I mean anyone, even like a hardcore gamer, like that's a lot. Especially whenever like you get into something competitive that has a tournament essentially dedicated to it, like
Right.
Street Fighter. Because like you got people that are do consider Evo a possibility for them, and they make their home there. So you win 300 matches, you've gotten yourself up to this bracket just for one character, where it might be fucking a shit show for you to get maybe one every 5.
Yep.
So I mean, like now you've essentially like you've won yourself to a point where you can't win anymore,
Yep.
and you'll never get that character. So I just that is an inexcusable practice.
Absolutely. Ugh.
So then, on the heels of that, I mentioned Square Enix.
Okay.
Square Enix recently put out Deus Ex, and from what I understand, Deus Ex by itself is a pretty swell game. I don't know, I haven't played it yet. I put "yet" in there as a caveat. Hey, do you know anything about it? Have you heard anything about it?
I heard it was a lot of pay to win stuff.
That is exactly what it is. So, like, it started it really became like a big deal, I think, in Dead Space 3, where you were able to pay actual money for resources that were in the game. And, like, it's like a single player game, but, like, so then, like, the fear became, so you pay like $5 for whatever resource. So then, did the company go in and make shit X amount more expensive than it originally was? So you would have to pay. You would have to pay in order to be able to progress and do anything.
Right.
And I think everybody just like lost their minds then, and then now, like, I know that it's happened a couple of times. I can't reference anything right off the top of my head, but Deus Ex is doing it.
Yeah.
And people are only moderately grumbling. So like it's obviously happened several times before, to the point where, like, now people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
But,
they did that a lot on mobile. Okay.
well, yeah, mobile.
Yeah, you kind of expect that on mobile. Okay, like with Final Fantasy VII, if you give them like $4, they'll max all your characters out to 99,
Right.
which is bullshit. But it's mobile, whatever. But you do it on a full-fledged like PC game,
Like a $60 title.
yeah,
You know.
that is unacceptable.
Here, are you ready for it to get even more unacceptable?
Do it.
Are you? I mean, like, have you girdled thy loins?
I'm already there. Let's just get it
All right.
over with.
Here's the thing. So you paid $10 for these resources, and that's a legit number. $10 is one of these packages for
Okay.
these resources in the game, and then you use that during your let's say your pacifist playthrough, because they do have multiple ways that you can play the game.
Sure.
So you do that during your pacifist playthrough, and then but you bought the collector's edition, and you give yourself a few other things that you got through the collector's edition on your pacifist run. You
Okay.
have your fun, you see the ideal ending, and then you go back and you want to just play it kind of like as a stealth action game, kill a few guys, and just kind of fuck around.
Okay.
The stuff that you assign to your pacifist run is no longer available to your next run.
Sons of bitches.
Single use paid DLC. We're talking like not even same account. We're talking same save. You can't use it in the next save. And that's the stuff that you spent like $150 buying. You can't use again in the next time.
Uh.
Like, you lose all of it. I mean, like, I don't even know. Look, I'm itching. I don't even know how to deal with that. It's so stupid. I mean, it's I mean, heartbreaking, especially for like a lot of people are really hardcore Deus Ex fans, and they're just getting the big old butt touch on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting spanked, and it's awful, and it's heart-wrenching to see, especially a company like Square Enix that used to really just represent
Yeah.
a lot of what gamers were and what gamers wanted, and really kind of had their finger on the pulse. It is really responsible for some really shady and terrible behavior, like, especially like that. I mean, that one, like, they've done some other like questionable things, but that something about Udo, I mean, that's bad.
That is
That's
terrible.
that's real bad, especially since, like, I mean, it's $10. That's not. I don't even think that's the. I think that's like mid tier. You know, I don't know. That's bad. That's the kind of bad. That's the kind of bad that you can't just put a band-aid on.
No.
That's the kind of bad that people should fucking riot over.
That is fucking betrayal.
It really is. It's betrayal of the consumer trust.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, it's so bad. Like, and okay, so there are some good companies out there.
Right.
You look at Psyonix, for example. They just released a new, not even really DLC. It was just, it's a patch. This is in the game now. But they allowed you to buy cooler cars or cool looking cars.
Psyonix makes Rocket League.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
But they allowed you to buy cars. I mean, and then when you buy a new car, it just looks different. There's no real benefit, but
Purely cosmetic.
purely cosmetic. So they released a whole new stage. It was underwater level. It's pretty cool. For free, and they said thanks for buying our game. And that game, brand new, not on sale, $30.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the net code's great. I mean, like, it's a very solid title. Another company that's really fantastic about its DLC and its updates and its generosity to its consumers is CD Projekt Red with The Witcher, The
Yes.
Witcher series, not just The Witcher 3. Because whenever they actually put out like paid DLC, you feel like it is a genuine tried and true expansion. And like they released more free content than most of these other companies that we've talked about have even in their actual game. I mean, I don't look. It's one of those things where, you know, they put out content that's so good and they've made it available so available that like they, from what I understand, they've had very little piracy issue because like it's just been, it hasn't been as egregious as everything else. And I guess that's like a big part of their thing because they're very anti DRM.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even care if I mean they care if you pirate the game, but even if you pirate the game, look, I won't lie to you. I got my hands on a free copy of The Witcher 2. I played it a little bit, and I was amazed by the graphics. I didn't really care for the game too much because I was not in the mood for a Zelda-esque game. To me, it was action RPG, but I could see its potential in being a great game. Eventually, I bought the game on Steam. Still haven't played it, but I bought it because I know it's gonna. If I have the time and I'm in the mood, I will play the shit out of that game because I know it's a good quality game.
Yeah, the Witcher gets me dander. I mean, like I love The Witcher. I love the characters in it. The stories are just fantastic, and CD Projekt Red puts out such an amazing product that you can feel invested in it, and it's something I don't mind buying a lot of. I have every DLC for The Witcher, for The Witcher 3. I got it on console, and I had to fix that, but I do have it on console, and I've played it all the way through, and I fucking love that game. Oh my god! And then it takes me to something where like I kind of thought about buying Deus Ex, but then I look at it and I'm like I don't actually want to now. I don't.
Right.
Because and I know that like before anybody gets into the like, well, Frank, I mean, like it's a single player title, you can do whatever you want to in it, right? That's true. If it's single player and you want to pay that, and you should be able to. However, this is not the first baby step in this path.
Right.
This is not going to be something that is ever. I mean, like if you let them have it, this is not something that's ever going to go away. Then you're going to be finding like I mean, I know like it's been like a joke online or whatever, but like they show a picture of a hamburger. And like they're like games from 10, 15 years ago, and then in the next picture it's got like games from 10 years ago, and it's got a picture of the bun, and then it's like paid DLC 1 and it's the burger, and then paid DLC 2 and it's the lettuce, and then like all the other condiments are all like paid for bits that you have to pay for after the game's already out. You don't get the whole game anymore.
Right.
And this is an example of that, where like it's really like the corporate the big business mentality run amok, where like in for a penny, in for a pound. Right. Where like they bought the game, like a lot of Harley owners have a saying where like, well, you buy your bike and that's your down payment, because then now you bought your bike, but then well, in order to make your bike work better for you, we got to buy pipes. Well, I mean, like in order to really make it fit for you, you really got to get it lowered. I mean, really make it, in order to really get a lot out of this, you got to get the new handlebars. Probably replace your carburetor. I mean, like there's so then like that's what I feel like they're doing with like a lot of this stuff, where they're adding on all these little nickel and dimey things, where they're like, well, you could have this, but you're gonna need this in order to use it, and you're gonna need this, and it's just the more that people let them do it, the worse it'll be in the long run, and it's terrifying. As a rather addicted gamer, I look at something like that and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, because it's gonna ruin the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. It already has.
Yeah, I mean, like it's divisive. It's anti-consumer. I mean, I know it's a single player game, but I mean, like it. I mean, like if you look at it from that perspective, from like an overall art and design perspective, I mean, like it kind of ruins the game, because like it's like whenever like like in Star Wars Battlefront, or Star Wars Battlefront came out, and like you pre-ordered it, I don't know why I pre-ordered it, because I don't know, because I'm stupid, and like I pre-ordered it because I thought I wasn't gonna be able to get a copy of it. I don't know why I thought that. Shut up. Don't judge me. Maybe I'm old, and like to me, I was like, because I used to have to pre-order like games like for the SNES, and I sometimes get excited about pre-order games, and I think I'm not gonna get one. I guess I don't know. I'm an idiot. Look, anyway, shut up. Don't judge me. So then I didn't realize I was gonna get the DL44 pistols to go with it. Turns out that gun is like one of the best fucking guns in that game. I mean, it literally made it so that everybody that was playing in every match I was in all had that DL-44.
Right.
Han Solo's gun. So it was a giant pistol fight. It was stupid because that gun could two-shot you from any distance. And, you know, it's shit like that. If the game hypothetically had any kind of story mode, if you had that gun, it would make almost the entire story mode useless. Because like there would be no challenge, there'd be no suspense. It'd just be like dead, 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 dead.
Yeah.
I don't know, stuff like that. Stuff like that to me is game breaking.
Yeah.
And but that's also corporatism run amok. Where like, you know, they really want you to have a really powerful gun, which in the case of Battlefront really fucks multiplayer.
Yep.
Because I mean, like, if everybody's got their really powerful gun, you know, you unlock a gun. I mean, like this automatic laser blaster rifle is, you know, terrible by comparison.
Right.
Why even use it? And then you can tell the people that didn't fucking pre-order it because there's the poor asshole that's out there with the E11 blasting at you like a stormtrooper, and he gets to actually be like a stormtrooper because he can't hit shit with that thing, and you just fucking pip him at like 100 yards. Boo, boo.
Yeah.
And then you look at the end of the match, and everybody is sort of like, you know, like 6-4 and whatever. But then there's that guy who's like 1-30.
Right.
Because his ass was just like, I don't know, blah 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 blah. It was awful. It was truly terrible.
There was this one webcomic Penny Arcade did back in the day, and I think it was during the birth of fucking Pay to Win. Basically, the comic said it's going to get to a point where the damage you do in a game, like swinging your sword, the damage you do equivalates to the amount of money you swipe from your credit card. So it's like 1-to-1 dollars for damage. Like, swipe that credit card, that's like swiping your sword.
Yeah, swing, 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 swing. That's sad, but I mean, like, that wouldn't really surprise me. That's the kind of future that's terrifying.
That was over a decade ago, and they were like, it was laughable because a game actually exists like that. Oh my god, are you serious? Mm-hmm. And now it's normal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you liked what you heard. If you did like what you heard, please rate, comment, subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Donate on Patreon. And we'll have a new one out pretty soon. If you have any feedback to give us or have any requests on which kind of topic we should talk about, please let us know. You can mail us at mail@dastardlygentleman.com. You got anything else, Frank?
Don't pre-order.
Don't pre-order. Until next time, folks. See you later.
Bye.